she is. And now she is Bu Ailing. And I was very inspired and very amazed at her because even before all this crisis and corona hits, she has been a constant source of inspiration and a source to share her own personal experience for all of us. So without further ado, let us invite her in. Ibu Nyo Ailing. Hello, Bu Ailing. Good evening.
Hi, good evening. How are you, Miss Ardi?
I'm good, Bu Ailing. Wow, you're looking stunning tonight.
Thank you very much. So as you're very fresh, and your batik is blue.
Yes, because we're on an international stage at the moment. Bu Ailing, I can see that you're staying at home.
Yes, I am more than a month staying at home, following the government rules of staying at home, social distancing.
Ah, okay, Bu Ailing. Let's jump on today's topic because most of our friends here might be eager on to learn, and we are looking for a solution because the title today is how to embrace your crisis and making the best out of it. Because as you can see now on the news and you see and all this crisis, because we might only see it on the news, like small snippets of it, we might not know what's going on.
Okay, Mr. Hadi, allow me to say hello to our friends right now who are from various countries. I'm in Indonesia now. I want to say welcome and also good evening for all. And for our friends in Africa, good afternoon. And also for the Europe. And for the friends in USA, good morning. Okay, Mr. Hardy. Now I want to show you all a video before I went to the sharing. I want every one of us watch this video.
Hmm. Okay, Boiling, let's watch it.
Know if I gonna get my job back.
Don't know if I'm going to run out of money before I can start working again, and that's been pretty stressful. Just so much uncertainty to have to live with.
Like, I have rent, I have food to buy, and I have medical expenses, and that's just the bare necessities. I've been having some coronavirus symptoms, and $1,000 is not going to be enough for my rent.
I was fired last Thursday, so a week ago tomorrow. I've been trying to file unemployment continuously to no avail. The landlord keeps sending emails about the rent, so they're freaking out. Everybody in my building is now unemployed.
Americans are starting to realize that reality is they're very close to poverty, maybe even a couple of acts of generosity away from hitting rock bottom and losing everything.
Para buruh mengklaim sudah ada lebih dari 160.000 pekerja yang telah dirumahkan oleh perusahaan. Berdasarkan data Dinas Tenaga Kerja, Transmigrasi dan Energi DKI Jakarta, hingga akhir pekan lalu terdapat 162.416 pekerja yang telah melaporkan di PHK dan dirumahkan. Ini belum menghitung potensi dari wilayah lain seperti Jawa Timur, Jawa Tengah, dan Jawa Barat. Presiden KSPI Said Iqbal mengatakan bila tidak ada upaya sungguh-sungguh dari pemerintah untuk mencegah PHK, maka dalam 2 bulan ke depan industri otomotif, tekstil, garmen, dan sepatu juga bakal melakukan efisiensi dengan mengurangi pekerja mereka.
Wow, Bu Ailing, it's very scary, isn't it, out there? When we saw the video, in just this last 3 weeks, that you can see that there's 17 million mass terminations in America, where people are losing jobs. And what do you think about this crisis, Bu Ailing?
Yeah, Mr. Hadi, the truth is when we see the video, it's a phenomenon how today is we can receive news easily. And this is not a blessing, and we're not grateful for the condition today. I see an angle which our friends who are watching this show and also for the replay of the show, and they still have a good job until today and also have a good income until today. And also if they have little income, I can say that you all must be very grateful. But of course, for friends in the other countries that right now is having a health crisis, also financial crisis, people got terminated, lose their jobs, and we cannot say that we are happy for them. But now is a moment when we can together pray for them and pray for this to pass, and so we can see that the world from different countries can smile again.
That's right, Bu Ailing. Because even in this current condition, we need to all unite together in prayer and in all positive energy so that we might pass this crisis together. Talking about crisis, Bu Ailing, I know that I'm sure that I've heard back then when you were younger, you have faced a big crisis in your life. Could you explain something about it?
Mr. Hadi? Okay, Pak Hardi, when talking about the crisis, I am not an economist that can talk about this, but I am reminded because I have also experienced a crisis in my life. And today, I am very grateful for the crisis because at that time, the crisis is my family. So economy, financial crisis, and also my confidence. At that time, I don't have confidence. Just imagine we do not have a house. And also the second one, my family quarreled because of the lack of money. And I also see that my friends can go to university, and I do not know what I do. I do not have a degree, only high school degree. So I have a confidence crisis and also financial crisis of my family.
Okay, so could you please explain how are you dealing with all that crisis?
Thank you, Pak Hardi. This is a blessing for me that I can share this because I can get through the process. I don't understand about the crisis specifically, but that time I am grateful that I have an uncle. We know now as Pak Onggi Hanata, and one of the author of the Value Your Life, which is translated into various languages. And I am very grateful at that time that we are together having a financial crisis. He took me and teach me how to fix the mindset, how to look at the positive angle. And you can imagine that today we see the news like that. What if we see the news every day? We automatically have the disturbed mind and mental. At that time, I'm grateful that Pak Onggi uh, uh, took me to see the crisis in a different angle. If we know that I've shared something about the crisis. Crisis is have two meaning in Chinese. The other is danger, and the other is opportunity. I'm very grateful at that time, Paonggi, uh, take me to look into the future, and I look into the future that time while everyone is having stress and having mental challenges, financial crisis, and there are a lot of people who were trying to end their own life. At that time, I didn't receive that news. I received good news, energy, and also uh, become financially well. So I'm very spirited because I know I I got a new way of thinking that saved me.
Okay, so in conclusion, if I might say that the first thing we need to do is to have a positive mindset.
Yes, that is the first thing that I get when our family have the crisis, also my confidence crisis. That is the lesson that I have, and it accompany me every day.
Okay, wow, I'm learning a lot tonight. Even so, what's the next step, Boiling? After a positive mindset, what
Now,
do you
the
need to
next
do?
step is I'm very grateful that Pak Onggi teach me how to look at different angle. But just seeing is not enough. But it also take me to a business community because I do not continue to university. I ask him how I'm not going to university. Paonggi said that it's okay, but right now you have to join a group that is positive, that the environment, the group can teach you how to get opportunity from the crisis. I'm reminded that there is a book. The author is Robert Kiyosaki. He shared about the cash flow quadrant. That book changed my mindset dramatically. And the book tells a story about the cash flow quadrant. There's the employee. There's also the self-employee quadrant, the business owner quadrant, and the investor quadrant. And when I read the book and I joined a business community that Paonggi took me, I understand that my father's quadrant. Oh, my father is a self-employee where my father does not work for other people, but working for himself. And at that time, when I read the book, I can easily understand. Since I was 8 years old until I was 22, with my father's as a self-employee, some at one time he opened a store, and at one time he started another business, and he focused being a self-employee, and that thing does not make our financial conditions secure, because when my father got sick, all the income for our family is zero, and the expense we cannot stop. We still have to pay the expense.
Okay, it's almost similar to the conditions we have today, isn't it? There are a lot of mass terminations and a lot of people losing their jobs, whereas we still need to pay our bills. So it's very similar to what you're experiencing back then, isn't it? And looking at where you are now, you are a source of inspiration to the people who are facing this crisis today. Okay, so you're talking about this book, Cash Flow Quadrant, which changes your mindset. That you could change your mindset so you can move into a different quadrant.
Yes, that's very true, Pahardi. If you notice, from the Robert Kiyosaki book, Changing Quadrant is about the mindset. Pak Anggi asked me to join the community. At that community, I forced myself to wear my mindset, try to follow their mindset. Even though I don't really understand, when I get together with them, I automatically learn. And I learned when about the business owner and investor quadrant, talking about the passive income. I thought to myself, if there is really a financial freedom and time freedom, I want it, because I see my father as a self-employee. It's very unsafe. And I think to myself, I have to stop this. I don't want to continue. And I'm very curious, and I opened the book, and I also listened to a lot of testimonials. And the book tells us to enter to the B quadrant using 3 profession. The first one is creating a business, and the second one is you can buy a franchise, and the third one is you can join a network marketing. I don't see myself as just joining network marketing, because I don't think that it's cool. Even though I only finished high school, I think that network marketing is not cool. And what's cool is working for a big company. But because of the condition, also my father's condition, we have a lot of debt, and I don't have any choice. And I decide to enter into the quadrant. And there's a sentence that say that if we do not have enough capital to do a business, start a business, and also franchise, I thought to myself, okay, I can join network marketing, and it is one of the ways. Robert Kiyosaki said that it is the way to learn to enter into the quadrant, which is time freedom and financial freedom, because they are so different between the active income quadrant. And I don't think much, and I directly follow what that book say. I just dedicate 2 to 5 years life to enter into the network marketing business. And right now I'm very grateful. Right now I joined FFG. I have the right mindset as an entrepreneur.
Wow. So your decision back then to join this business school and this community of FFG, it has resulted in such a big change and shaped you to where you are now. So a crisis, in every crisis there is a blessing in disguise. What is important is that you have a good mindset, a positive mindset to deal with that crisis. Okay, Bu Ailing, thank you for sharing, and we have learned a lot from it. And I've heard that there are also other guests that we are inviting. And there's even someone from somewhere overseas. And I'm very eager and excited to learn from their experience. So now, before we move on, I'm reminding to all of you who are watching, please like, comment, and subscribe. And do click on that notification bell so you will be updated constantly if we have anything new. Okay, Bu Ailing, I'm now very eager to learn. May I know who are we inviting
Okay,
in?
Party. I also like to learn and to listen to other people's story, real story. And as you all know, why we have every Monday we have a program, especially on this World Entrepreneur channel, because the one thing that inspired me to get out of a bad condition during the crisis is the other people's stories or other people sharing. So through this, I want to share with you all stories that have given me strength. And out there, people need this kind of sharing, especially who
Oh, Bu Ailing, I'm very eager now. I'm very excited.
Okay, I will say hello to our first guest. She is a housewife in Jakarta. Okay, I want to say hello. Hello, Budanti.
Hello, Boiling. Good evening.
We are both wearing red.
So that means we are in one heart.
How are you, Ms. Budanti?
I felt amazing and I'm still focused. I'm keeping my health and
Wow.
I'm working from home.
So now housewives can say work from home. Okay, Budanti, can you tell us all? You're a housewife. What it has to do with the crisis and win against the crisis?
Okay, Bu Ailing, so I have an experience around 10 years ago. My experience in facing a similar crisis to what we are facing today. Back then, my condition was I'm a pure housewife. I'm only a housewife.
What does it mean, Budanti?
I'm living in a comfort zone because back then my husband had a very nice position at his workplace. We are living in Tuban in East Java, and he is the head of a factory with a position that I might say that is very nice, it's very beneficial with a lot of benefits. So with the position that my husband is in, our family received a lot of benefits from the company. We got a driver, we got a lot of personal amenities, a lot of facilities, and a lot of bills are being paid for by the company. So that I might say my husband's salary, we could.
But that's very nice, Budanti. The company pay for everything.
It's very nice, really, because like I said before, my husband's salary we receive it in full, so that we might use that money to pay our school
Then
bills and
what
everything.
are you experiencing?
Okay, so back then on 2007, there is a oil crisis where a lot of oil prices are rising, and we felt it in the family because my husband usually received a lot of bonuses and incentives from the company. And because of that year, due to the oil crisis, my husband stopped receiving those benefits. And at the same time, our eldest is going into a boarding school. And we already paid the down payment. But because the crisis struck, we couldn't pay the whole tuition fee. We can only pay the down payment. So now we started to think, how are we going to be able to pay this tuition fee so that our eldest might continue studying there, to study there.
And then at that time, you as a housewife, how do you feel in that situation?
To be honest, back then, it was very chaotic. I was very confused. How are we going to just pay our bills? So now both of us panicked because on June, 6 months after that crisis hits, we need to pay that in full.
So in the end, what step are you taking with your husband?
So the both of us, because both of us couldn't rely on the company anymore, we need to look for other business opportunities, other sources of income. But after we looked at every options we have, starting a new business isn't easy because we need a massive capital to start it. And so we started to think, what should we do? And so we started praying. Facing a lot of these challenges, we started praying. And we did a leap of faith. It's something positive I might take from this crisis, because during that I started to pray a lot more. So I'm being closer to God. I felt I'm closer to God. And our prayers are answered when a family came to us and gave us a business opportunity that is very affordable. So when we heard about that business opportunity, my husband and I opened our hearts and opened our mind, and we thought that this might be something that God gave us. It's something to help us. So my husband and I, we prepared ourselves to meet this business owner, and that's when I met Bu Eiling, this lovely
Yeah, I
woman.
remember that moment. At that time, you came with your husband, and then you also brought your child. And what year was it?
I think that was around 2007, late
Okay,
2007.
2007. At that time, because we don't know each other well, I didn't know at that time you and your husband is in a crisis and looking for opportunity. I just know it a few years back, and right now I'm clear.
Yeah, boiling. So that's a very amazing experience for us. It's a very challenging experience, but for that experience, we visited your house in Surabaya, and we saw the product, and we were given this opportunity that we didn't even think about before, and that's network marketing or multi-level marketing. And I'm very grateful because ever since then, there's a lot of changes in our family. Not just the two of us, me and my husband, but our
Can
family.
you share with us your changes in your family?
Yeah, so for me personally, from an ordinary housewife, in this business that provides a school for us, for people like me, Freedom FedNet Global. Freedom FedNet Global teached me to change my mindset. That, like before you said in the slides, in me when I was in the in the left quadrant before, and now I can change my mindset to approach things, and now I'm moving from the left to the right quadrant, and the school teach me a lot of lessons how to be an entrepreneur and how to manage my mental condition and how to manage my attitude when facing a situation. And I also taught what I learned to to my children and to my husband as well. So from that business school, it doesn't also help me in financially, but mentally as a whole.
This is very interesting, Budanti. At that time, you were looking for opportunities because your husband's company, at that time, the oil price is spike up. At that time, in that condition, in the end, your husband got terminated, or can you please tell us the full story of the condition at that time, especially your husband's job?
Okay, so on 2008, my husband still have his job, but we desperately need another source of income. So at first, when we joined the business, it's just to look for another source of income to pay our children's school bills and tuition fees. And at first, I was very confused and I wasn't sure what kind of business is this because we didn't know anything about this business. But we opened our mind, we opened our hearts, we learned everything we can how to run this business. And the process has been a very challenging but an amazing experience because all of our teachers back then all lived in Surabaya. So to us, when we're still living in Tuban, we need to move from Tuban to Surabaya every time we need to learn. So it has been a very challenging but very amazing experience for us. So we were taught something called learning by doing. So in just 4 to 5 months, we were only looking to raise money to pay our
Wow.
children's tuition fees.
Wow, Bu Nati, I remember, if I'm not mistaken, you have ever shared to me that the company, your husband's business, husband's company, it got closed, or can I hear a more detailed story?
Okay, like once again, I might mention, I'm very grateful to be in this community. So back then, due to all the work we've done, we managed to pay our children's tuition fees. So we were back in our comfort zone again. But another thing struck on 2012. So there's something I might say a company mismanagement at my husband's office. We saw that a lot of employees are being fired and they left their jobs. And that pressure are building and affected my husband. And since I can see him being a lot more stressed and his health are deteriorating, so we decided for him to resign from the company. But back then, he resigned without a backup plan for his career, for his job. So for a year after he resigned, the income from this business fully supported our family.
Wow, that means that for almost a year, uh, all the company facility is taken away and you have zero income, and you make the decision in 2007. That's the one to save the company, save your family.
That's right. Because after we learned everything, so when the crisis hits on 2012, we were very calm and focused on finding a solution. And we surround ourselves with positivity to find a solution to the problem.
But it's very interesting when I met you, Bu Danti. I still remember you, and you from before is very different right now, more fresh, and I can feel it. And okay, thank you for your sharing, Bu Danti. We can see that a housewife can also have a role, important role. And in a family, there are other important role for the sake of the family. So thank you, Bu Danti. It can strengthen us who are housewives in time of crisis.
Yes, I'm very happy to be able to contribute.
Thank you, Bu Danti. Okay. Okay, thank you. Now I want to say hello to our second guest, which has also inspired me. He's from a very different background and also from different country. I'm in Asia and he's in Africa. He's in Cameroon. Okay, we can say hello. We call usually we call gentlemen in Africa Papa. Papa Futso. How are you, Papa Futso? Wow, so fresh, Papa Futso, your face. Okay, Papa. Right now, there is afternoon in Africa. Now Indonesia is nighttime. This is the power of technology. We can say hello to each other, and I can see your face. And also, our discussion and sharing is heard from people all over the world. This is the power of technology.
Yeah.
Okay, for all of you who are watching this, if you pay attention to my sharing with Papa Futso, there is a slight delay because Papa Futso is hearing me speak Indonesian. No, but right now Papa Foto is being translated, and also we can hear also for the Indonesian translation. Okay, Papa Foto, I want to ask you to make it clearer and we can know you better. Papa Foto, what is your background?
Okay, Mama. I learned to be an accountant in school. And after that, I found a job for 30 years as a director of a company.
Okay, so it means that Papa Foto is an employee for 30 years, and for the last 20 years, you are, what's your position, past position?
So at first, for 10 years, I started as a simple company, but for the next 20 years, I became the director of the company.
Okay, so it means that 20 years as a director in a company. This is very interesting, Papa Foto. Papa Foto, have you ever had a crisis in your life?
Yeah, I faced my first dangerous crisis in 2008 when I sent my children to study in the United States. But I didn't know there was a crisis. So one of my company closed down in 2009 that I realized that I was in crisis because didn't have the money to pay my children's tuition fee. So I became very stressed. So that was my first big problem with the crisis on 2008.
Wow, Papa Foto, that's very interesting. Papa Foto, you don't realize that in 2008, there is a crisis. But we all know that 2008 is also a global crisis. But you know that the crisis when the company closed down and you are terminated, and then you suddenly realize that you don't have the money to pay for your child tuition. Okay, Papa Foto. And then after you realize that in 2009 your company closed down and you also have to pay for your children's tuition, what did you do?
First of all, I need a good salary for 4,000 US dollar. So when the company closed down, and I couldn't pay our expenses and the tuition fees. So then I was presented with network marketing and I refused to do it. But as my company closed down for me, it wasn't possible because of my age to find a new job because I was 54 back then. So I wanted to open my own company. The key for me was to open my own company, but I didn't have too much money to do it. That's why I decided to look for this opportunity, network marketing. And I found this one network marketing and I do it for 1 year, but no money. And until one day, I found my way to Freedom FedNet Global. And this was a good gift to me.
Wow, it's very interesting, Papa Potso. And I listened to your sharing. You say that you have been offered another network marketing before, but you feel that you don't need network marketing, and then you refuse to do it. But in another condition, and also regarding your age, 54 years old, you cannot find a job that can replace your salary. You say that your last salary is 4,000 US dollar. Is that right?
That's right, Mamaling.
Okay, I try to imagine Papa Fotso, 4,000 US dollar at that time. It means that in our Indonesian rupiah is almost 40 million. And right now in 2020, it's around 60 to 80 million rupiah. So if in US dollar is almost 5 or 6,000 according to the company. Okay, this is very interesting, Papa Fotso. A lot of people say that if we enter an age beginning with 50s, in our 50s, it is very hard for us to find opportunity. But here, what I'm amazed is, you, Papa Fotso, you open up yourself and look for opportunity. And Papa Fotso, you say that, and then finally you meet with FFG, and it was a blessing. Can you tell me the blessing you get from FFG?
Yeah, I received a very great blessing because when I joined this MLM, I was looking for a solution to the problem. But my first MLM didn't give me this. And when I met Freedom FedNet Global, they told me that they would train me to become an entrepreneur and to become financially stable. And this excited me because I was looking for a job. I wanted to build my own business. And FFG told me that I could become an entrepreneur. And I'm very excited, and I opened my mind because this is the one I'm looking for. And this Freedom FedNet Global has been something I've been waiting for, Mama. Because this group teach me how to become a good entrepreneur, teach me how to manage my money, teach me how to look for my mission, teach me how to look for my vision and to dream, and transformed me magically, changed my mind. So FFG is a God's gift to me, and today I'm very happy for that.
Uh,
Yeah, so thank you, Mama. You see, many times people say that in life, what matters is the amount of money we have. Because 4,000 US dollar it's a lot of money for me for 20 years. But the problem wasn't about the money, but it's how to manage that money. That's why I had a lot of problem during these 20 years. I have a lot of money, but I couldn't save anything. And that's when I met Freedom FastNet Global. And showed me the way how to manage my money. And after that, I've only done 4,000 US dollar. I can, when with my money being properly managed, I could pay all my children's tuition fees and all my bills. And I'm earning a good commission now from this business, and I'm managing it really well. And this solved my financial issue.
wow. Well, Papa Futso, this is a very interesting because before I tried to count 4,000 US dollar for 20 years times 12, and also the total is 960,000 US dollar. And if Papa Futso can save 10% of that, you should be able to have $96,000 should be enough to pay your children's tuition at that time. But the fact is you don't have any saving. And what's amazing is because of the condition in 2009, you have no preparation, you don't know anything about the crisis. And now it brought a blessing for you. Your income, before you say that now your income is bigger than the 4,000 US dollar. For everyone who is watching this live streaming and also watching this replay later, I want to say hello to you. And I want to say that this topic is very important for me. How to make your financial become healthy and how to manage your finance. And so in a crisis, we don't have to experience like the video in before. No one wants to enter into a crisis period, but that is a condition that we cannot control. But if we have the knowledge as an entrepreneur, that's one point. I learn about the mindset. And also the second point is how to manage the money that we get. We will not experience a crisis, and also we don't have any savings. So I see that this home quarantine brings us a new positive angle. We can enter into a silent moment. We are at home and we can start to think about everything, and we tidy up all the things in our life, not only for the opportunity, but also for the finance. If you guys are interested in this topic, we are going to talk about this next week. You can leave a comment in the live chat, and also after the event end, you can leave a comment. And I will talk about the topic in your comments. I will share with you real stories next week. So, okay, back to Papa Fotso. Thank you for the sharing. Papa Fotso, I want to right now know you more. With you find, after you find FFG and becoming entrepreneur, you learn to dream and also manage your money. And right now you feel that you feel peaceful right now. Papa Fotso, can you tell us uh, what what you learned from FFG that you can share with us?
Oh, Mama, I learned a lot of things from FFG. First of all, Rhythm Fitnet Global built me physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and showed me the real way how to become a great man. And where did you teach me how to become an entrepreneur? So as an entrepreneur, be ready to become an investor, and teach me how to save money and how to invest it too. So now, when I have money, I know exactly what to do with it. FFG taught me how to dream, Mama. Because before I didn't even know how to dream. And I didn't know how to take care of my family. But now you taught me how to become a good man for the society and for my family. From FFG, today I became a new person. So that's why I say every day FFG is a God gift to me for giving me this opportunity.
Wow, Papa Fotso. Right now, if I'm not mistaken, that in this moment in Africa is also the same. Quarantine, social distancing in Africa. Is it right?
That's right, Mama.
Okay, Papa Futso, I've heard your sharing. Right now, you have followed the path of the leaders, and we all know that Dr. Raul also do the same. I see you copy do the same thing, and I'm very curious, and I want to see it live, also for all the friends here. So from your money jar, can we see the form, the result of your money jar that we can see together, if you don't mind?
Dr. Raul, my inspiration is very easy to follow. And now in my village, I dare to build my own home. Because we strongly believe that what we learn from FFG, we need to invest and to have a good life too. So now in my village, I could do something, I could control what I'm doing with my own home.
Okay, Papa Fotso, can we see you are now in home quarantine and you are enjoying how you built the house. Can we have a house tour? Can you show us?
Okay, no problem.
Let me move a bit. Okay, let me show you. This is my, as you see, this is my guest area. Yeah, this is my guest area. It can be a bit long because the area is 1,800 meters square. That's why it's quite big. You see? Yeah. Let me turn like this. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. This is my house.
Ini adalah rumah.
My new house. And back there, I show you the guest area. And you see, this house in front is my cultural area. This is my falls. And this cultural area, I have two particular rooms. The first is one big room in which I will put all the trophy FFG give to me, from mentor to CDA. And the other rooms, I will put all the books that FFG advised me and take it to change my life. And downstairs, I have a big room for 80 persons. For me, I want to teach what FFG teach me for people in my city. For me, it's very important because all these things I learned during 9 years for FFG, they didn't teach me this to school. And I always ask why they don't teach people to become an entrepreneur? Why they don't teach people leadership? Why they don't teach people how to manage money? That's why I say what I learned to FFG, I will use this house to begin how to show the way to people and give them what FFG give to me. You can see. Okay.
How many property do you own right now? Hello, Papa. How many land do you have right now?
I have now 6 commercial line, Mama. Yeah. It's asset. This is liability. What I learned for FFG, Mama, is that you cannot spend money to buy the liabilities without buying first the assets. That's why even if I want to buy a new car, first I want to know what I invest for my future, for my new life. Because what happened to me in 2008, this cannot happen to me never again. I say no because I have the process now. So when I earn my money, first I know the amount of money I can invest before I buy liabilities.
Okay, hold on, Papa Fotso. This is a very interesting for friends now watching this live streaming. A condition right now, even though you are experiencing crisis, we can learn from this sharing that in this crisis we must not it must not happen again in our lives. And if today we are experiencing crisis, we are going to be grateful for it in the future. I'm very thankful for Papa Fotso sharing. In 2009, income goes zero. At that time, Papa Fotso is 54.
I do what, Mama? No, I have already shown my cultural area, and then I show you my particular house and the guest one behind, because I'm in the 1,800 area meter square.
Okay, Papa Fotso, I thank you for your sharing. It is very inspiring for all of us. So for all of you watching at home, the moment right now is the moment that you can understand. If you want to know more about how to manage your finance, and if a lot of you are interested, we can make the future episode. We are going to invite some guests with real story and how to escape, how to solve the crisis. And when the crisis come, they will be more relaxed.
Terima kasih, Mama Ali.
Thank you.
Welcome, Mama. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you, Christopher. Thank you for all.
Thank you, Papa Fotso. I'm sure that for Budanti and also for Papa Fotso, each of them has their own role. I'm very sure that you are who you are watching right now. You're very proud to see their improvement after this 10 years. So for all of you friends who are watching this streaming, I will not conclude anything, and I also will not give you advice on anything, because the truth is you have heard a lot of advice and also heard a lot of conclusions, and especially for the youngsters. I also start doing this in my teens, and once again, no advice and no conclusion for today. For the youngsters and also for the seniors in their 40s, 50s, 60s, no advice for you, but you have to decide on your own after you listen to all of the sharing, because whatever opportunity that you take, it's very good when you take it. It can help your future, and when the crisis comes, it will not be the same again. You have a trouble, you will have to. For me, it's very simple. So today's live streaming, you can conclude for yourself and take the advice for yourself and think about it in this quarantine moment. And also you can prepare and take a leap in your life. And one day you will be very grateful for this 2020 in this COVID-19 pandemic, which I'm sure that this is part of history. Okay, thank you for everyone who are watching this live streaming, and also thank you for the guests. And I will return this to our host, handsome and fresh and bright, which is in Balikpapan, Pak Hardy. Thank you from me.
Wow, Bu Ailing, it's very amazing, isn't it? For all the sharings and for all the true stories, I learned a lot tonight. Thank you for Budanti. Thank you for Papa Fotso from Cameroon for inspiring us. And I'm sure that all of our friends could learn a thing or two from all this and take and receive a new spirit and to face this spirit for a better future. Hopefully, let us pray for this crisis to pass and may us all rise again. So thank you once again for Bu Ailing. You have been an amazing speaker. Very fantastic. Thank you, Bu Ailing.
Thank you.
And for all our friends who kept watching, do subscribe. Please click the bell again, like and comment. So for next week, and you could share this video to your friends and families who might need it. So we're on the end of the show. Let us all pray for this condition to be better, to improve. And may this live stream could be beneficial for you. And that's all from me. Thank you and good evening. Goodbye, everyone. See you again.